Movie and Television Stories by James Blackburn. 1997, The Negotiator. Good howdy, folks. Welcome back to another James Blackburn experience. This episode is the first of many for my movie and television stories. For those of you who do not know, I make a living as an actor and filmmaker, mostly in New Mexico and the southwestern United States, but I have traveled much further over the years. This series will be for me to share the stories of my adventures in the movie and television industry. This first episode will tell the tale of my first movie job on a film called The Negotiator, featuring Samuel L. Jackson and Kevin Spacey. This movie was released in July 1998. However, it was filmed mostly the year before. So let's go back in time to October 1997 and start this movie story. I have always loved movies and television since I can remember. They've always been a great escape for me. Back in the mid-1990s, I had a friend whose daughter had been in a couple of movies, and I asked how she did that. They gave me the information for a casting company out of Chicago. So I contacted them and they had me mail in a picture of myself. Next thing I knew, they called me and booked me to work on the motion picture, The Negotiator. They informed me about the call time, which was 5 p.m., and the location of Extras Holding, which was a subway station in downtown Chicago. They also hired both me and my other half Karen as pedestrians for the scenes. I thought, call time? 5 p.m.? We might be done by midnight or 1 a.m. Boy, was I wrong. We were there from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. It was cold and there was a light rain all night. It felt like one of the longest nights of my life. But we stuck it out and completed the entire shoot. It was such a tough night that I didn't do any movies or television shows for another 7 years after this. I'll be honest with you folks, the cold and the damp and being outdoors for the entire night in October in Chicago, it was cold and miserable, but I still managed to have a good time and we had a lot of fun out there being on a movie even though it was cold and damp. A few highlights of the night. I remember there being a lot of background actors. I think I even heard that there were 1,500 people hired this night. I also remember 2 helicopters flying between the buildings and thought that was pretty neat. When we first arrived, we signed in and got our wardrobe approved. Thankfully, we dressed warm. After that, we went to set, which was on 77 Wacker Drive. We were placed at a barricade area, and almost immediately I was pulled from the crowd and taken away. Production assistant took me and a lady down to the prop truck, and there they gave us some props to play press members. The lady was a reporter and I was made the camera person. The prop camera they gave me was very heavy because they replaced the guts with nothing but batteries. That was so that the red record light and the spotlight would last all night long. That camera was very heavy, especially after many hours, but I got through the night and lived to talk about it later. Here's a still image of my clip from the movie, where I left myself in full color. Now that you can see where I am, here's the clip from the movie, all 4 or 5 seconds of it.
They were going to take away my wife by sending me to prison. And that, I cannot take. I can't live without. Put yourself in my position. What else could I do?
12 hours of a cold, rainy overnight work for that. But that's just the way it is. I know my few seconds of time on this movie means nothing in the big picture, but it was the first movie experience I ever had. It's amazing to think that I started here and worked my way through the movie and television industries to find success eventually. But that's a story for another day. So when they gave me the camera from the prop truck, they also gave me a press pass to make me look more official. That is this thing right here. I don't know if you can read that or not. It says City of Chicago 1997 temporary press pass. And at the end of the day, I was wearing this around my neck when they took me back to the prop truck. And, it's just like this. And I had a jacket on and we completely forgot I was wearing it. I started driving home and there it was, still on me. So
was too late at that point, so I got to keep a souvenir from the movie, but it was not intentional. Now this next piece right here, I don't know if you can read that or not, but it says Uranus, level 7. This is a parking pass for downtown Chicago, where Karen and I, my lady, went to park for this movie for that night. And you grab one of these pieces of paper off the thing to remind yourself where you parked at, because the parking garages in Chicago are massive and there's tons of levels, and you would never remember. It'd take you hours to find your car. So press pass, parking pass. That was the two things from the movie I still have left other than the clip. So yeah.
I think my paycheck after taxes was about $65 for the 12 hours. So after 12 plus hours of overnight cold rain in downtown Chicago, we signed out with the paperwork and drove home. Probably got home around 7 a.m. or later, and then we slept all day. And trust me, the sleep was much needed and appreciated. Thanks for watching. As usual, love, love, hate, hate, take care of each other.